All right, gang. So we see that we have our downtrend right here, on a 4 hour, and you can see right now price is at 1919 .49. Market just opened back up. You know, it's not really moving as much right now. It's Sunday, and the market just opened back up for March 20th, 2022. You know, crazy month this month and last month. You know, with everything going on with this war. Russia and Ukraine does affect the market. It affects all the pairs, you know, as we trade currency against currency. You know, since we do trade the U.S. dollar, you know, gold slash U.S. dollar, United States, you know, has to do with, you know, globally, economically, everything. That's why we look at the news. This actually does affect the market. You know, the United States dollar, and when the United States dollar, you know, when the United States is going through war and going through stuff like this, prices tend to go higher. That's why we're seeing gold go all the way up to 270. You know when a major war like this is happening with Russia invading Ukraine, the U.S. dollar prices went up, gas went up. You know, we've seen gas go up, we've seen the energy go up, we've seen wheat go up. We broke down all of that already. When you know when this affects when we see a major war like this and you know with the news and it has to affect the United States like this, gold tends to go this high. You know, we have seen talks with Russia and Ukraine supposed to be you know settling you know trying to cease this war, trying to end this war. So you know we're seeing gold now heading back down. It could head back up if this war continues to escalate even further. We could see gold heading back up. As you know, United States, you know, froze Russia banks and frozen all assets and with central bank with Russia. We went over that. If you haven't seen it, they're on my YouTube channel. We already went over that, you know, with Russia freezing, with United States, President Biden freezing all assets to Russia as far as oil and all other commodities, gold, any transactions with Russia, you know, United States, our president, Joe Biden has frozen all transactions and has banned all transactions with Russia. So, you know, as far as their central bank is concerned, everything, you know, Russia, because of this, you know, we have seen gold starting to head back down. You know, went to an all-time high 2070. And this was March 8th, 2022, um, right after Russia um, had invaded Ukraine and had took over their nuclear plant base. We went over that already in Zaborania. We had went over all of that. It's on the YouTube channel. You can check the news out if you want to. We will go over news in the future as well. You know, which is extremely important. Fundamental news is extremely important. But this all has to do with the market. You know, all of this has to do with the market game. You know, so this is why we go over the news. We have to actually know what's going on as far as the news is concerned and you know globally, you know, as far as this war is concerned, you know, it really affects us in this market, as you know traders are going to capitalize off of the war. And you know it actually does affect every pair in this market. You know, we've seen wheat go up, we've seen oil go up, we went over all of that. Nickel has went up, silver had went up. You know, this market, you know, Euro USD went to an all-time low. We've seen GPUSD get down to an all-time low. So you know, a lot of things has been happening because of this war, and it does affect the market. That's why we go over fundamental news. You know, extremely important to understand. You know, so you know, U.S. dollar right here. This is the U.S. dollar. Like you know, when the U.S. dollar is doing down, when the U.S. dollar is going up, you know, gold's going down. You know, if we trade currency against currency, so unemployment rates, you know, the first of the month, the end of the month. All of this has to do with why, you know, we'll see prices moving up and down. You know, Euro USD, we're trading currency against currency. So this has to do with the United States. You know, when the United States is going through crisis and going through war, dealing with stuff like this, it does affect the market. Extremely important to understand. That's why we go over the news. It's not like we like, we're just trying to, talk about the what's going on with the war. No, the war and everything that's going on with, with Russia and Ukraine has, causes prices to fluctuate very high. And we've seen price fluctuate all the way up to an all-time high 2070. So all of this really does affect us. We have to take Forex serious, or you can lose your money. You have to look at for it. You have to look at the news. You have to understand what's going on globally, as far as the war is concerned. So that's why we went over all of that. Make sure you check that out. I just wanted to update y'all on that as well, so gang, all time high is 2070, 2022. I just want to go over this real fast a little bit more as we go to this chart. Let's go to this chart, on the 4 hour. And let's just zoom in. You can see right here, I do have some consolidation going on right here. We've seen price consolidating right here on this chart. After price, March 16th, 2022. Price went from March 16th, 2022. We see this hammer pattern on one price went all the way down to 1900. Price hammered. This is our psychological level. 1900 is one of our psychological levels, as you can see. Just draw this Fibonacci off of here real fast. Once price got to our psychological level, 1900, what did it do? It started to retest back up. It started to head back up. You can see it on here as well. Once price got to our psychological level on the 2 hour, boom, price got all the way from 2070 and got all the way back down to 1900. 1900 is our psychological levels. One of our psychological levels. 1900. I do every 50 now, so 1900, 1950, 2000, 2050, and then 2070 is right there. All time high is 2070. So once price got to our psychological level, 1900, it started to head back up. We see what? A hammer pattern. Pay attention to candlestick patterns. This is one of our candlestick patterns. We see this on a 2 hour. We also see this on a daily as well. As you can see right here, boom, right to 1900, right to our psychological level. What do we see on the daily? We see a hammer pattern. We see this hammer pattern right here. When we see a hammer pattern, this is why you have to put it all together. Candlestick patterns. You have to understand candlestick patterns. Once you see a candlestick pattern on the daily, boom. Once you see this candlestick pattern on the daily, right? Boom. This lets us know that price is heading back up. We see a hammer pattern at our psychological level, 1900. Boom. And what? Price heads all the way back up. This is what? March 16th, 2022 on a daily. And price heads all the way back up to what? March 17th, 2022, right back up to 1950, or another psychological level, 1950, before what? March 18th, heading back down from 1950 right to our psychological level. Once price got to our psychological level, 1950, it headed right back down to all the way back down to 1918. Price is at 1918 right now. So we seen once price got all the way from 270, it headed all the way down to 1900, and we see this hammer pattern. Once we seen this hammer pattern, I seen it like a day ago. I was like, okay, on a daily, on a higher time frame, this lets us know that price is what? Heading back up. That's why you have to pay attention to candlestick patterns. And it head from 1900. You could have bought this for a buy from 1900 all the way back up to 1950, which is about 50 pips. About 50 pips. Which is good money, right? Then what? Once it gets to 1950, it what? We see a Marubozo candlestick. This lets us know that price could be heading back down to 1900. We see a black Marubozo candlestick, really a bearish engulfing pattern. Black candlestick is engulfing this yellow candlestick on the daily. This lets us know that gold could be heading back down to 1900 for the day. So you have to put it together. We see what? Black Marubozo candlesticks. When we see black Marubozo candlesticks, long black candlesticks, this lets us know that sellers are in complete control. We have to put it all together. It broke, we see a black candlestick break below this moving average, and we've been in a downtrend ever since. So extremely important that you put it all together, gang. I just wanted to go over this one more time. All right, gang.